Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you join us, and the world will live as one. Welcome to Little Big Voices Live! Woo! Woo!
What just happened?
That was beautiful.
Oh my God.
That was so beautiful. Thank you, Kati.
You know, it's a great song when I miss like 3 chords at the end there, and it's like, it doesn't matter. That song is just so.
That's the perfect song for a Sunday afternoon.
It is, and this week too. It was just a extra nutty. Life's nutty right now, but you know, I just thought that would. I don't know. Bring us together a little bit, you know.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kati.
Oh,
in fact,
my gosh. Kati Q. Don't
where
forget
are my
Q
guests?
Hang on a second. We're not ready for that yet.
Oh, okay.
We want to chat a little bit more.
Okay.
Plus, I'm hooking up Disco Kitchen with some lighting right now.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, my work's never done, Melba.
I
You
know
that.
you're incredible.
Hey, could we just talk about the crew for a second while I get Disco Kitchen going?
I'd like to thank my awesome crew, our awesome crew for Little Big Voices. I mean, really, we wouldn't be able to do this without our crew. We have Federico on camera.
Yeah, give it up for Federico.
Woohoo! And then we have Sparkles on audio.
Oh, and she does sparkle.
And does she? And she was working all morning.
How did she get that name, you think?
Well, I think it's because she makes the sun with everything.
She makes the sun?
Yeah, she makes the sun. She, that's like a.
That's a lot of responsibility.
I know, but that's what she does. That's why we invited her.
Yeah.
Then we have Lalo, my pal Lalo, running
Lalo.
the audio switcher.
By the way, you can buy vowels all day long with his name.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He'd be great on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
You know, you'd get like one thing. I've been calling you Lola all week. And I just think that's unfair. Just one little character thing change, and all of a sudden, I'm at the Copacabana.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
It's
I
crazy.
was really impressed that Lalo just walked in. He fits so well with the crew. No, his performance background gave him, you know, confidence. So he's done now. This will be his second episode. And then last but not least, we have the truth saver, Jackson. Jackson.
Jack. Yes.
His name is Jack, right?
Well,
I call him Jackson.
unless he's in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's welcome our newest crew member, Jack, to the team. Yeah, he was super helpful today. I've been looking at this thing. I'm just saying, she sparkles a lot, but sometimes she gets complainy. And she does. And they were complaining a little bit at me, like, I can't see this monitor. There's no room on the desk. How do you want me to work like this? I can't sparkle here. And so, hey, and Lalo, if you just do straight cuts on the interview part, it'd be awesome. And by the way, this is just Lalo's second time at the video controls. He's just doing amazing. But, and man, I've never had such a close-up ever in my life. This is pretty intimate.
Yeah.
I kind of want to look into my own eyes here for a second and just gaze. But so she was getting a little complaining. It's not like her, so I thought it must be.
She has standards, you know.
She does.
That's
huge
the thing
standards.
about sparkles.
Yeah.
She
I
has
mean, every
standards.
week I'm like, is she even going to come back, you know? And so Jack, I was like, call Jack, and I go, Jack, I got a special request, you know? And he came over and just cranked out that thing I've been looking at for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you
like
know.
it was nothing.
You know, he knows what he's doing.
So, and by the way, Sparkles, you know, there's going to be some disco music coming up here in like 2 seconds. Yeah. So we're going to, you know, Melba, this whole thing started because of you and Donna Stevens. And I'm dedicated last episode to her and this episode to her. This is my friend Donna Stevens, who 35 years I've known her and loved her, and she passed away a month ago. And it's just been the hardest month of my life, I think. And but for 10 years, every day, almost every time she got the chance, she's like, get out from behind the camera and get in front. That's where your gift is. That's where the love's going to go. And I was like, no. And so when we did our first episode, she texted me right away. And so this episode goes out to her. Plus, she was our first Patreon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, coming back to the video side, right? Because I had done audio-only episodes, and those are still going. Those are a little more intimate, you know?
And she herself was a creative genius.
Oh.
Vocally, instrumentally.
Yeah. I lived with her for 3 years, and my favorite
physical.
story is like every day she'd make fresh carrot juice. I walk out of my bedroom, and I couldn't even, I was squinting. I was like, what is today? And she said, you want to hear my new song? And so she would just sing me like 8 verses because she didn't know how to not to keep going.
Wow.
And she'd finally trim it down to 3 or 4. But she was in the Cowpatty. She's in the Lovebirds. She's had a show called The Donna Show. Her life was The Donna Show.
Right.
And she was one of my spiritual mentors, too. She traveled to the edges of the universe for spiritual insight, for in search of her own healing. And then she brought me along. So huge loss in my life. And this show is really good medicine for me.
That's what I was thinking.
It's just good medicine.
When I heard about it, I thought, gee, I couldn't ask you, are we going to do episode 4?
I know. You stayed away for a little bit.
Yeah,
Like, I think
because
there
I
was
wanted
like
to honor your process. And also, I was really sad for you.
Yeah.
I lost 11 people right during COVID. But nothing like a best friend that I lived with, that I created with. And you showed me all of the stuff that she did. And
Well,
then
she did stuff for
I
St.
actually
Edward's,
worked
too.
with her, in the
Great
mid-90s.
illustrator. I mean, just
totally.
amazing illustrator.
So I really felt bad for you. I could feel your pain. And I'm hoping that today's episode will open your heart to know that she's here. And this is what we do, whether rain or shine. It does help creators or people have creative vision like you and me and the entire crew and our guests. We need one another to get to the next stepping stone. And sometimes it does, mean that we're going to have to go back.
Yeah.
And luckily, I think this type of activity is a bridge for the soul.
I think I'm waiting on her. Where is that I put it right around here. This necklace that I got from her. So I'll find it in a second. But I walk by in the studio and touch it a lot and just kind of feel her there. But she went through her own, and we're going to do a special Little Big Donna Stevens coming up next episode in a couple weeks, and just honor her and some different people from her life all over the planet. I've had just the luxury recently of talking to one of her friends that lives in Thailand that talked to her every day the last 3 years. And so she and I get on the phone and just talk about things that were 35 years ago and things that were 3 days ago. And it's just been so healing. And we'll just cry together all the way to Thailand and back. You know, it's just been such a gift. And she and I are working on a film about Donna right now. And we got memorial services planned and all that. So anyway, this one goes out to my friend Donna Lou Stevens, who believed in me over and over to the point that she nagged me into this, and I couldn't be happier that she did. So, and by the way,
so we want to thank Donna.
Yeah, we do, and I put her in the credits and stuff. But
thank you,
Donna Stevens. Oh, made me laugh so hard too. But in search of our healing, that's where that's the medicine, the creativity is. That's what I found in my own journey to healing is create.
And the sharing.
The
sharing is so important. Speaking of sharing, where do you think our guests might?
I have no. I saw a couple of them heading to Disco Kitchen.
Oh.
And I was like, what are you going to the kitchen for? You know? And anyway.
They're in the Disco Kitchen?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Look what.
Oh, my gosh. Oh,
no.
Oh, you can tell.
You've lost control of the guests, Melba.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my gosh. All right. Oh, my gosh. You can't let guests out of your sight.
No,
I've noticed here.
But I hope everybody knows that getting a glimpse of them disco and really going down in the kitchen in terms of the disco, that's the kind of fun you're in for today.
Yeah. Well, you told me, because I was like, do you think they would do this? And you go, they'll do anything you ask. They're actors.
They're actors.
And I was like, is that the rule? Is that how it goes?
Professionally trained actors.
Yeah.
I get to talk about
You're
that.
waiting for your direction.
Oh yeah, and they can.
Yeah.
They're like clay.
Yeah.
Their training is so that they
to be clay.
To be like clay,
and
to be able to embody multiple, characterizations.
Yeah.
But also they just like a musician will have their scales. These actors are trained to be able to move, to be still, and I trust them because I was a part of their training.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll end up a great show, and I'd love to, move on.
Okay.
Let's do some stuff. What are we going to do next? Are we going to have Katya?
We're going to actually.
I know I'm stage managing today, but my script's over there.
I think we're going to start with Jenny. I want to introduce Jenny at the table, and we're going to talk a little bit.
And then go to Katya?
Yeah, and then we're going to go to Katya.
Because in Katya's contract, she goes, I go first. I read
is that what she said?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Yeah, and I heard him arguing in there earlier. I was like.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Katya's
we
first.
should probably follow the contract.
So first of all, why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and talk about the show for a second? And Kathy, let's put that slide up. Lalo, let's put the slide up of the show.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a second.
Right. The reason I wanted to invite Jenny and Kati is that they gave me the opportunity to be a part of their show.
Lalo, let's put the slide up that has the details
Nora
of
show.
the show.
Yeah.
Keep going down. Keep going down.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's go there.
Jenny has done a beautiful adaptation of a very important play called A Doll's House, and it's she described it as a queer adaptation of Ibsen's A Doll's House, and she asked me to be in it, and I wanted to be able to share what an incredible opportunity it was for me to get an email from Jenny, because I know Jenny from mid-'90s, early 90s, when out of thousands of students auditioning at UIL.
Mm-hmm.
When she auditioned, I was struck by her level of maturity, her bodily kinesthetic intelligence, her linguistic intelligence, and I knew that every single theater program was going to want Jenny, and I was right. The second I walked out to see all the actors are posted from that universities want to offer them scholarships, and she was on practically every university. And so what I did is I was certain that I needed to go back to the theater faculty and beg them to give me their theater scholarship money so that I could compete with the other schools and give Jenny the very first full ride theater scholarship at St. Edward's. And I promised the faculty and the dean that they didn't know, because they had never were able to compete for the top talent in the United States. And I was certain that if we brought just one truly gifted student,
it starts changing
that
everything.
it would not only raise the caliber of other students, but it would raise the caliber of performances from guest artists. It would raise the caliber of the classes from the teachers, and faculty were cast too. So it would raise that bar. And I was willing to give up, a couple years of scholarship money for other actors to give to the costume design and lighting design and technical design, arts administration people. If they would just give me their money, I could potentially get Jenny. And normally, auditors, people like artistic directors all over the state, they have like at least five or six scholarship students that they are really going after. I went after one.
I know.
And
y'all, can I
got
just
her.
interrupt you for a second? Hell yeah, you did. I've known you 3 years now, something like that.
Yeah.
Every day I've ever seen you, you're going to get something that is important to you. Like that's just how you move, Melba. If there's a relationship that you think you move that way. If it's church and you're gonna love my church. Like I pity the fool that gets in your way there, because you're gonna drag them over there, and they're gonna love it. And so I just think it's a gift. I don't know, man. Just good luck out there, y'all. Because if you run into Melba Martinez and she sees a spark in you, you're gonna see it. You're gonna live it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna become something new, because she just does. She did it in me. She did it with this whole studio. She was the inspiration. Donna was the requirement, like the expectation, like you are going to do this. But you inspired me with your paint studio, and then every step of the way you've been pumping me up. I was laughing because I was doing my typical 7-minute shower before the 8-minute show starts. And and so I was in there laughing because I remember on episode 1, I was like, where's my hair gel? And you were running around like with it open, because I couldn't get it open. You were opening it. I was like, she even helps me with my hair gel. Like it just all works when you're around Melba. So let's talk about Katya for a minute.
Well, I wanted to mention to the audience too that my vision worked, and that Jenny coming to our program pivoted, and I've always wanted to tell her that. And
you're going to get to.
You gave me the opportunity.
You're going to get to. And before the show, y'all, Melba and Jenny, when they were talking, I was like, save the tears for the TV. That's rule number 1 in TV. Don't start talking until the camera's roll. It's going to be a beautiful talk, I think. And could I introduce Katya for a second, just from my perspective? I don't know, Katya and I go back 49 minutes, maybe now. And, God, it's been like the best 49 minutes ever. And you can tell a lot about a person when someone that you don't know goes, hey, would you sing a song that we haven't practiced in 47 minutes? And it would have been fine, Katya, if you had said, no, thank you. I would have respected that for sure. But it was just like you were talking about, when pros show up, it's a
different story.
They're pros all the time. That's what pros do. They're pro, and they bring their best, And so it was really fun, and I'm just so appreciative of her to jump in like that. And so, yeah, you have anything else you want to say about Katya?
Well,
We'll
yeah.
let her sing. It's very moving, y'all. So
I wanted her to, tell us a little bit about that, the song that she's going to sing, because it was pivotal for her that when she met Jenny, they created this show. It was an original show, and it was called Catalina Yaho.
bring her mic up, Kathy.
Yaho presents Now With Me.
Yes. Catalina Lao,
Laho, yeah.
now with me. Yes.
And I saw that show. And wait till you hear her sing this song.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna do the first song that's on the run a show. Despite everybody's feelings, we're gonna run the run a show.
Yeah.
So let me do that. Jared, would you mind grabbing that chair out of the way? Because furniture could get hurt in this situation. Yeah. Are you comfortable, Katya?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm really glad you're here.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
She's partnered with Jenny, and I can't wait to talk about their
Yeah.
creativity. But this was a pivotal moment for them.
And
They've taken this show all over the world.
if you like them, they might come back and be on the relationship show. And I didn't tell you all the concept of that yet, but it's I'm interviewing all different kinds of relationships, but mainly ones I want to have one like. Like that's sort of the criteria. Like someone tried to date me one time, and they were super sweet.
One time?
Just once.
No, come on.
It was sweet.
One time a day or what?
No, just one time. And I know this wasn't real tactful. I was being as polite as I could, but I was like, okay, if you can think of 3 couples you want to be like, I'll go on a date. And she couldn't, and I couldn't.
What?
3 couples that you really wanted that relationship. Like that was the one that you just thought. And so that's what got me thinking. And that's, by the way, a really good way not to get a date, ask that question. But I don't know. I'm always on the lookout for people that have come together and made something even different and more vibrant than they had alone. And one of my theories is that in the world of portals, traveling, let's say spiritual, emotional, psychological traveling, that there's some portals that only 2 keys can open. You just can't go by yourself. You got to go with somebody. That's what maybe pushes you or transcends you a little bit. And so far I'm thinking these guys would be great on this. And by the way, part of the thing is you'll be cooking during the show together and being interviewed separately. So we get a sneak peek, and then you see how you coordinate and stuff. And hopefully there'll be some good spats or whatever over oregano or whatever. We'll see. But I just think it'll be fun to do that. So let's see how that goes. All right, everybody.
Yeah, you're in
Katya.
for a treat. Katya.
Yeah. Hello. This song is called Quisiera from the show. Quisiera querer, te quiero comprender como eres tú. Te quiero querer, te debo querer como eres tú. Este amor inmenso que por ti yo siento ahora es una Quisiera quererte, quiero comprender cómo eres tú. Te quiero querer, te debo querer como eres tú. Este amor inmenso que por ti yo siento ahora es una luz. te quiero comprender como eres tú.
That made me emotional. Wow. Thank you, Kati. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Melba.
Well, we've been talking a lot about you already, but I want the audience at home and our friends to know that I think it was 24 years ago that I met you, and it was in either Houston or Dallas UIL. And I'm not sure if you knew the backstory of how I got you, but after all these years, you know, you've had a professional career. I'm not a professor anymore. I'm going to be 70 next year. One of the things that I've always wanted is to be able to have a personal conversation and tell people important things that wasn't the time or place to be able to communicate how pivotal. And I didn't know that you were going to be the first of many students subsequently to experience the new curriculum based on my dissertation. And so you were required to audition for community theaters around town, and take the rhythms intensive that we did with all the faculty and the dean and guest artists. You were one of the students that got to experience all of the new strategies that came from my interdisciplinary investigation, and I was using the theater at St. Edward's kind of like a lab. And when I look back on it, we've had so many talented students, like, incredible students, but they were all after you. And, in and among the theater community, what I hear is how, not just special, but how the creative community of Austin perceive you as a leader, a talented leader, not just in Austin, throughout the United States. I mean, when you were artistic director of the Selvage Vanguard Theater, you won Best Director of Austin. That was it was really a competitive, flourishing time with live theater, and you were on the cover of American Theater magazine that year. And I mean, that's just the bare bones of what a meaningful theater artist you've been, and how you've influenced the caliber of Austin theatrical productions and performances. In fact, a lot of theaters came together recently that were flourishing in the 90s, and the one thing that they all communicated was that it was because of the St. Edward's Moody Northen Theater students, because we changed the rules. As most theater departments don't allow you to go audition for films and theater productions, but to this day, Vicki says, who was the artistic director of the Hyde Park Theater, Frontera, she says, you were pivotal. And in the same way that I recognize that once I saw that you had a gift, I wanted everybody to see it so that they knew what was possible. And then you exceeded that, and because you were like 18 years old when you came to St. Ed's, right?
Yes, I
From
was.
Montana.
That's so kind of you to say, and you give me more credit than is due. And South Dakota, close, but we're both, we're neighbor states.
Yeah.
We grew up in neighbor states, Wyoming and South Dakota. But yeah, that class at St. Ed's was really special. There were a few years there where all of us who were a part of that program, it was a really unique force because many of the people who came through in that time period are still working as professional artists, are running their own companies, are in television and movies, and really doing the thing. So I think you're so kind to say that I had any part of that, but I think, you know, when you're young, you take things for granted. And I think I took your teaching for granted. And as I've grown up and I've become more mature and experienced more of the world and more theater around the world and more academia, I've realized what a gift you gave that whole group of students, what a gift you gave me. Because you were teaching postmodern theater, you were teaching physical theater, you were teaching new playwrights, you were teaching devising and that kind of collaborative process. And most theaters across the country, first of all, did not have women in charge. Second of all, did not have Latina women in charge.
Exactly.
And in the third place, we're doing very classical work, very traditional work.
With the City Company.
Yeah.
With the number one theater company in the U.S.
Yeah, you were really breaking ground. And then when I started to go into this journey of like, oh, I'm going to get my master's, and I actually, before I got my master's, I had a round of like, oh, I'm going to try. And I remember interviewing with a university that will not be named, but they had been very traditional up until that point. But in my interview, they were talking about how, oh yeah, we're redoing the program, we're doing all these change, and I was like, you're trying to become more like what Melba created. So, and now, you know, cut to 2025, departments around Canada and the United States are into more of the pedagogy that you had actually been experimenting with back in the late 90s. And, you know, when I was 18, I maybe was like, I don't know about this stuff. I just want to do traditional theater, but I didn't realize what a gift I was being given, actually.
Right, and now you become one of the theater leaders in the postmodern, experimental, and holistic, lane. I did that because, and I went back to school for one reason only. I wanted to be of integrity with myself. As a professor, it was clear that students didn't know acting. They thought because they watched all these films, oh, they knew acting, but they didn't understand that that's not where theater began. And there's something about live theater. The live is crucial. People don't understand the difference between live theater and a film or media. Nothing, I'm not dogging that because it's become the dominant system of representation. But it's like
they're different.
Making love to a photograph. It's not real. And the impact that I remember leaving, when I left Onions, I ran into someone at the grocery store who was a seasoned subscriber, and they had tears in their eyes, and they said how many years they had been seasoned subscribers, number one, and how hard it was to get a season subscription. And, that reminded me that for a liberal arts school, we had sold out season tickets. We were doing the rhythms together. We made yoga a requirement. And then look at Adrian becomes a yoga sensation, my daughter. And all the people that the holistic approach was, to me, the only way that I could be of integrity, knowing that when you guys graduated, if you didn't have these tools, you wouldn't have a career. You just wouldn't. Because then you would have to try to, learn the language of auditioning for film, and they shoot in a very different way. It's not about the actor. Camera is doing most of the acting. And so I really felt that the curriculum needed to focus on how to be alive, how to use these tools so that you could shift gears. It didn't matter the platform, whether it's, thrust theater or arena theater or, commercials or touring or now the internet. It's still live theater has, it's like church, because it does transport, it does connect you with something higher, and you see in physical 3D form the actor, how they embody. And you might have seen them in another role, another play. You get to see the range that every single human being has that capacity, but it's only today's professional actors that get a chance to experience themselves on this planet in this moment in time with all of their intelligences, all of their ways of knowing. We really limit people, and because people think that it's natural to use films and media as their resources, they don't realize the library is within. But those of you that got that opportunity have proven to me that was not only a noble thing for me to pursue, but in terms of humanity, it was an important and meaningful direction that I went to. And the theater faculty and the dean and everyone was so supportive, because they got to witness. They all improved in their skills. They were putting on their shorts and doing, the stomping or the rhythms, and they saw how we stopped taking people to the emergency room. Like every semester, we had to take somebody to the emergency room. And then one day, the secretary said, it's been a long time since we took anyone to the emergency room because they got their hair cut in the saw or they twisted their ankle. And when I heard her say that, I thought, when do you think that was the last time that we took someone to the emergency room? She looked it up because we have records. She said, the last time was right before you instituted the all theater guest artists, faculty, students, technical faculty, designers, guest artists in the community. You wanted a 4-day movement intensive where we learned how to listen, how to open up our periphery vision, and we were using our breath. And you started to see, even in one workshop, a whole new way of appreciating one another. It was really touching to see the dean out there and her pedal pushers, doing the Suzuki movements. But what I can honestly say is that you and all of the students that subsequently graduated from the program and really committed to the program, they've done phenomenal work. I mean, we could talk all day about just on their credits, but what really impresses me is the people they've become. The people they become, like you. The way that you adapted, Nora. Genius. You're taking a work that was banned from the theaters, and you're seeing the relationship of that character in our society. And even with the political landscape that we're in right now, you're bringing it home how it doesn't matter what time frame we're in. There's still a level of honor and respect about a person's humanity that needs to be understood and, mainly understood. And you could talk a little bit about that, because after the first read-through, wow.
Well, I'm so excited that you have agreed to be a part of the project. It's like coming full circle.
Yes,
that
exactly.
I'm now directing my director, my mentor. So that feels really, really special and full circle to me.
And I'm nervous about it because I respect you so much. And I even told my daughter, Adrian, that you had emailed me. And I can't tell you what an honor and a privilege it was that you would ask me. But also, I think that's your level of being, your level of, craftsmanship too. You probably couldn't get another person on the planet that would, suit up and say, I want to do my absolute best. And I'm, it's challenging me because I'm about turned 70 years old, but I know I can do it, and I couldn't be doing it with a better director. The cast, you might want to talk a little bit about the cast. Is so great,
The
Jenny.
cast is fire. Local actors, all of them. Sarah Zarenge as our Nora. Sarah is quite prolific with Trinity Street Players, where we're producing this, but also with Austin Playhouse. A gentleman named Patrick Shaw, who is also a professor at the University of Texas in their theater department, is playing Torvald. Kati Q, who you just saw sing so amazingly, is playing Dr. Rank, and that's one of our gender swap queering of the story moments. The character Christine has also been gender swapped to be a man and is going to be Robert Joseph. Sebastian Vitale is Krogstad. And I think that was 6 people, right? Did I list everyone? Yeah.
But for the first read-through,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one of those moments where you're like, you cast everyone and you're like, I think it's going to be great. And then when you have everyone in the room and the sparks are just flying and everyone was so beautiful and nuanced and you're like, oh, this is working. That is especially nice when you've written something and you're like, I don't know how these words sound. I am trying to very much honor Ibsen's tone and poetry. And so I'm calling it a light adaptation because it's not wild deconstruction.
Right.
But the language did have to be changed to be modernized, and y'all just sold it so good. Like, it might be terrible, but y'all sold it.
Well,
It sounded great.
When I first read it, I went to the original translation. I could not hardly get through it. It took days for me to actually finish it. So when I sat down with the cast, I was concerned, like, who's going to want to see this, But now, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, we cut it. It's a 3-hour play that is going to be 90 minutes in our version. And there are jokes, which I don't think people realize.
There's humor,
Yeah, that Ibsen has jokes, but he does. And so I think that will also help. I've kind of tried to narrow it down to like all these really important conflict, like instigating action moments to also just like keep our pace really tight and tense. And so.
But also, what I liked about it too, your adaptation is that people are not going to get bored because not only is there like a resonant connection to what's going on today, it's clean like that. It doesn't hit you over the head on it. You're going to know it, but it's not like dogmatic in terms of preaching or anything like that. It is really, it's touching to watch a play take place. It doesn't have, the action is internal. And it's really, he's talking about what he thinks a mother should be. And you can see that Nora is already jumping ahead thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to not be around my kids anymore.
Right.
She's trying to think what he's saying about he wouldn't want a mother line would be, impact the children to the degree that that her husband is thinking. She's already internally thinking, oh my God, I'm a terrible mom. So there's so much beauty in the piece. But the fact that it has turned, the tables have turned, is, to me, I don't want to not recognize the impact that it has on me, and how excited people are that I said yes and I'm going for it. So you want to tell everyone about when they can actually see the production?
Yes, it is November 19th to the 23rd at the Trinity Street Playhouse. And it's I think a Wednesday through Saturday night at 7:30, and Saturdays and Sundays at 3 p.m. 6 performances.
And did I see that it's free?
It is free.
Oh my gosh.
Because the Trinity Street Players is actually a ministry of the First Austin Church. So as a theater ministry, all of our services are free to the public.
Now talk about that. I love
Yeah.
it that it's a ministry.
Yeah. So,
Oh my God.
First Austin Church, it's right downtown on the corner of Trinity and 9th Street.
Yeah.
And they have a mission to be a church that is centered on arts and social justice. And so to that end, we share our space with a couple of really great nonprofits that I won't go too far into now, but I'm really proud of actually this church's action and their action meeting their mission. And then we also have this theater ministry, which is the Trinity Street Players. And we have a theater on the 4th floor of the church.
It's beautiful. It's a legitimate.
Awesome little thrust
Yeah.
space, really intimate. We produce one main stage show a year, which is our Nora Doll's House will be this year's main stage show. And then we do script developments, and we also do variety shows, which we have a variety show coming up on September 22nd.
Now talk to me
actually.
about that, because I think that's so darling.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm really intrigued by the ministry.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing heart-driven organization. But the variety hour is called JK's Just Kidding Variety Hour.
Oh, wow.
That Kathy and I host, and we host it every equinox and solstice. And so we've got the fall equinox coming up,
Oh,
right
my
around the
goodness.
corner. So that's our
And
next
I
show.
want people to see some of the photographs that you have of that, because they're so cute.
Yeah.
Because Kati is your partner now, and it's amazing the caliber of work and the amount of work that the two of you have generated. I can tell that the creativity between you is really, it's touching. It touches me because it's meaningful.
Thank you.
I want to make sure that we get to see the photos of your KT. Are we seeing that? Yeah, there's Kati.
These photographs
And
are
they're
by a
very
brilliant
empowering.
photographer, Minerva Villa, who is a local Lens of Athena photography. If you want to book her,
Mm.
she makes us look real good.
Mm. Well, the variety show that you have, it's so cute. It's called Kate.
JK. And that's our initials.
Mm. And you're doing that a lot then during the equinoxes.
So yeah, we'll have one every change
That's-
of season. So this is our third one coming up. And I'll tell you, it feels really healing. So far, the other two variety shows, whenever they're done, we're like, wow, it just felt really good to be in community. And like you're saying about the power of live performance, I think that we have become pretty disconnected because we're on our devices and our phones, and we're working from home, and there's all this separation. But we need each other, and we actually
Absolutely.
crave that community. So the audience also feels that way. Like afterwards, Kathy and I are bombarded by people who are like, oh, I just feel fed by watching all these different artists across mediums from Austin share their different talents, because we have a musician, a dancer, let's see who else, an improv artist this coming week, and a filmmaker. And Kathy will be performing
Wow.
another song, and I'll maybe just tell some jokes and do some poetry.
Well, think about it. When people think about theater today, they think about musical theater or entertainment. And that's, one function. But that function seems to be overriding the other 4 really crucial functions that theater has in culture, and has had, in our culture, for centuries. But the healing aspect, the celebration through, historic stories like, the Greek, the canon of Greek plays, but also, like Death of a Salesman. And those pieces are, the way that they function is healing, educational, and kind of like an elevation of not struggle but pain. How there's not a culture, not a village that doesn't experience that trauma, that suffering, and it's got to be channeled or used in a different way. I know that when people sat and watched Death of a Salesman, they were quiet. Oh, Playing for Time. I directed you in Playing for Time, and you were
That's right.
spectacular. Oh my God! But during that show, who would want to do a play about, you know, the French being, you know, put into train cars to go to Auschwitz? Of all the plays that I ever directed or produced, the importance of that play, I can't, you know, speak enough about, because that happened right after 9/11, and that was hard to go into rehearsal.
I remember being in rehearsal that day.
Yeah. Well, since I am speaking about the function of live theater, I want to do a demonstration by going back to Kati.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because you exemplify the importance of those other ways that theater functions, and the way you're talking, Jenny, about the ministry. I was thinking about this not too long ago. I was hoping that at some point, just out of need, that we would forget the whole disciplinary boundary and understand what a truly gifted actor can do when we witness them. So, Kati, las lágrimas.
Hello. This song is called Lágrimas Negras. The song is from our show, Catalina Lao, Now With Me. Llorona soy, divina soy, sabrosa soy, hija del mar Caribe y de tus costas soy. Soy de la arena, soy de tus cordilleras, pero me llamas extranjera, como si yo fuera hecha de magia y sin razón, sin valor, sin dolor, sin sazón existiera. ¡Ja! Y el que le guste la bomba y la plena venera, este tema que no se discute porque no hay problema. Llorona soy, divina soy, sabrosa soy, hija del mar Caribe y de tus costas soy. Soy de la arena, soy de tus cordilleras, pero me llamas extranjera. Caen de mis ojos estas lágrimas ajenas. Quiero que de mí salieran estas lágrimas negras. Estas lágrimas negras. Estas lágrimas negras.
Wow. Woo, doggy. Oh, that was intense. Thank you so much. Thank you for that commitment, that passion, that, wow, I have chills. Wow. And you know, I think because Mark's idea of having Jenny and Kati come back to Little Big Voices, I'm not going to say much, but I love the love that I feel from both Kati and Jenny, and especially when I see them working together, like on Nora, and I got to see this piece that they created. I wish you the best, and thank you for being the caliber of artist that you have. You have important work, and I'm happy to be able to see that level of work. Like, I don't enjoy having to go to New York or go to another state to see meaningful performances. Thank you so much. So, I wanted to thank you, Mark, by the way.
Hey, what are you doing?
I wanted to thank you. Thank you for dropping in like that, you know?
Dude, it's golly.
Isn't it great? I mean, I have
It
chills.
is.
I had tears.
You know what?
My heart is
There's
full.
a little something, you know, if you don't mind me being vulnerable again. Did you hear all? She goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, baby, just make it quick.
No, you can take your time.
Well, Sundays have always been hard for me.
Aw.
And just because, you know, when I left for college, for some reason, I just got sad on Sundays. And I think it's because all the family time I had on Sundays growing up. And I really love doing shows on Sunday because they redefine Sunday, you know? And lots of joy gets in the body this way. And, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, these, oh, my gosh.
Well, you created this, and you know what? The fact that you gave me this opportunity, I will be forever grateful because do you realize what an opportunity it is for me or any professor to get an opportunity to thank or to even communicate the potential that they sparked?
Mm-hmm. Well, now you know what it feels like to be us. That's how we feel all the time around you.
Oh.
Now, you know,
I'm like, what?
crew, the people that know Melba, is that true? Yeah. That's how we feel. That's why it's so like a crazy love fest with our clothes on, you know? I mean, it's just love. It's love. And so that's, yeah. There's just certain people that have x-ray vision into others' lives, and they can see the gold. And you're just one of those people. You can just see the gold. You, by the way, she can see the shadow, too.
Well, no, you know what? That's the nicest thing anybody could say because, and I love what Jenny said when she said, you know, she started to understand that there were no other Latina artistic directors, you know, experimenting with lighting and movement and sound and, you know, getting the other theater faculty to give them their scholarship money. But I have to hand it to the administration and theater faculty at St. Edward's. For the longest time, they were so in awe. But, you know, it was the students and their caliber of performances and the guest artists. But at some level, at some point, I think when you're operating really high, you start to think that maybe it's not, well, like some of the technical faculty thought that I was driving them too hard, and some of the students thought I was driving them too hard. And
You and I have talked about that.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about people's reaction to our love. I call it love. It's this thing growing out of us that we see something and we just want it so bad that sometimes we're short with our words, maybe, or like even before the show. I mean, oh my gosh, just close up. I'm so crazy close
so
up.
handsome.
No, it's fine. But even before the show, I was a little bit of a mess. You know, I was kind of cranky about stuff, and I've learned about the business of going live is that the compression of any shadows or the compression of any fears or insecurities start pressing in, and then you get to release it when you hit the go button. You know, even us going live there's some problems tonight. You know, so it's that being able to hold that space, and you held a great space for me tonight before the show because, you know, I was cranky, and then now I'm not.
But look what you created, and I, if anyone even has a tiny bit of, you know, energy regarding things that you want to do, and you want to contact Mark about being on the crew, or
dude, like
participating,
come on the show.
or, you know,
Yeah.
you want to share your gifts, contact him because I really believe you're doing something very meaningful with this
Thanks.
live Little Big Voices.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I've done 2 episodes, and boy, they last, and it's to me a gift that how is it that this would happen?
Yeah.
That I would get this opportunity.
It's
beautiful.
grace and love. I think the sky is falling and opening at the same time right now. I really do. So let's all go create. Let's all go make a picture and hand it to somebody like Donna would do. She would just see someone on the street, she'd draw a picture and hand it to him, or she'd take a photo, or she would start a GoFundMe for some street musician on the spot. She was like that too. So yeah, go draw something, go sing something, go
Or go
paint
make some
something.
jewelry like she made you that necklace right there.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I bet you can
awesome.
gift the audience by showing them what
just
she made.
Amazing.
Wow.
But
Here, let me see.
yeah. So, but yeah, I think if we could just go do that, it neutralizes fear. I personally just have not the belief or the opinion, I guess, that the opposite of fear is love. You know, it's not confidence necessarily. That can come too, but just love. So with all the long shadows falling on our world, the shadows get longer, the love gets stronger. It can. So let's just go do that. Let's go hug somebody or say hi or buy someone a hamburger and say hi, you know.
Or they could come to Nora.
Yes, come to Nora. Oh my gosh, I'm going to Nora.
I mean, that
Yeah.
is a very important piece. And
Yeah,
the
definitely go
tickets
to
are
Nora.
free.
Yeah. And yeah, I just thank everybody again for being here with us.
Yes.
Melba, you want to take us out? Like,
Absolutely.
let's go.
Let's go. But I want to
So-
thank Jack, definitely for
Yes.
being a part of the crew. Federico, you're awesome. And Sparkles, you're awesome.
Yeah.
And Lalo, I love you. You're awesome.
And Shimmy, we miss you.
And Shimmy, we miss you.
Yeah.
Yes. And all of you, thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yes. Hit it, Kathy. We'll see you next time on Little Big Voices.